The following program has been rated GE.
A very good morning to you this wonderful Tuesday. We are on Business O'Clock here at Nisi Television. And as always, here we say, do it as unto the Lord. We are here to transform lives once again. I'm your host, Edith Kamande, and today I have a unique guest or another guest, and we'll be learning a lot from him. Even before I tell you what you're discussing today, let us have a word of prayer. Thank you, dear Lord, for this wonderful morning, for giving us another opportunity to come and learn, get enlightened in the area, talking about the glory of health and safety, and even, Father God, the area of pests. We bless you for the opportunity, and we pray that you may start with us in the middle, and even at the end. Amen. Amen. Yes, good morning again. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for keeping it Nisi Television. We are live on YouTube. It's Nisi Television. And on Facebook, Nisi Television. And of course, we are live on a Signet, our TV channel. And tune in. Let us move along together. Give us your reactions. Give us your comments. Give us your questions. And we'll be kind enough to answer all of them. And you can be sure that at the end of this show, like I've told you, today we are talking matters health and safety. You know, when we talk of health and safety, one thing that comes into our minds is that fire extinguisher in an office. Those are the things that we see. Those are the things that are, these things we see in the offices. We don't, most of the times, we don't think of our homes when we talk of health and safety. But today we want to learn more. We are going to be enlightened in the area of pest control. I know most of us, if not all of us, you have been in a place where pests have given you some headache. Be it weevils for your plants, be it bed bugs. We have had issues in our colleges, in our institutions of bed bugs, and so many others in our vehicles, transportation, and those public vehicles, that is. And today we are going to learn in this area. We're going to learn how can you start a business on the area of health and safety, because in most cases we just see it as a thing for some other people we don't know who, maybe a hospital, maybe such a thing, or government. But we have an entomologist in the house, and somewhat you're asking, who is an entomologist? He will tell us who is an entomologist, because probably when you're growing up, nobody said that when I grow up I want to be an entomologist. And I'm not going to introduce him more. He's going to say who he is, and also tell us what we are expecting today. This is none other than the chief consultant of NEMA. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
And for our listeners, it's a great moment being together with you today. We will be talking about the sheep, where the sheep will be talking about safety, health, and entrepreneurship. But before that, my introduction, I'm Reverend Honorable Ismail Atudo.
Honorable Ismail Atudo, and he is also a reverend. So you can see we have an entomologist who is also an honorable, who is also a reverend, who is also a consultant on the area of pest control. Today we are going to learn a lot. We must learn a lot. Yes, tell us where you went into this as in health and safety. It's not an area most of us have thought about or have ideas about.
Some things are inborn. I was born a vigilante. And from birth, and as I grew up, I decided to invest in a silent world. And that's where safety comes in. Many of the times that we find we are endangered, our generation is endangered. And so when there is danger, then we have to do safety so that we prevent danger. So from the time I was in school, I always wanted to be safe and to make others safe. And so in the process, I began to learn on how I can be safe and how I can make others safe. And also a result, when sicknesses come, when bed bugs come, then again there is a need on how to make ourselves safe from future danger. So that's how I came into safety, And finally, entrepreneurship became the way where we are to come up with the things that others do not have, that can also generate income for the future. For without income, then even our economy is not safe. So the three, I will be telling you how they are co-joined together.
Oh, thank you. Maybe to ask you before we leave that area, did you at any stage of your childhood see this pest affect people in some seriously negative way? Or were you ever affected that you felt like I need to have a solution to control these pests?
For pests, it became a bigger issue. One was when I joined Maseno University in the year 2009. Then I found people who were around the university, they were so happy in their introduction, saying, I live just next to Maseno University. But nevertheless, amongst the students who were called by the highest marks in the university, I was amongst them because I was a medical student. And during that time, I saw some other people not able to walk well because of jiggers. And those people introduced themselves that they are next to Maseno University. And so I said, how is the university benefiting these people apart from introduction? It took my attention and the whole of my heart. I mobilized my course-mates and I said, there is a mess here. The name of the university and our name as medical students is not getting better when these people are worse. And we agreed together that because we had a course on entomology, and we said, now let's do it. Let's see how we can help our people. I wrote a proposal. We agreed we were to present it to our VC, who is now the late. When it came the day of presentation, everyone became upset. People feared to go to the VC. I had to find myself alone. And because I'm a man of God who is courageous enough, I went and I spoke to the VC. And my proposal was approved and forwarded to the student council so that we could, the budget could be funded. Nevertheless, because I was not in the student leadership by then, the student leadership took the campaign for themselves and left me, and also left the biomedical students. The truth is, the work they did was not to our standard and satisfaction. I wrote another proposal the next semester, and I said, now I have to be in the student leadership so that next time things don't go against my way. And that's how I ventured into the campaigns in the student body. And I finally found myself there. And now I was able to do it better to my satisfaction. And as I left Maseno, I am sure we eradicated jiggers in my time. Wow. After that, I found some lady, I will not mention for security purposes, whom I thought would be better to make a spouse in the future. And so, it was after a mission, I decided to take her home so that maybe we can do some introduction. And I have not told you I grew in the street. So I went to a home that belongs to my aunt. Nevertheless, we had great embarrassment. Well, we were sent to go and sleep. There were bed bugs the whole night. So we were unable to sleep. We resorted to sitting in the chairs at night. Remember, I have a visitor and a lady that I came to introduce. We had to sit in the chairs. Chairs became worse with bed bugs. So finally, we had to take the containers, the jerrycans, and we sat on them till morning. The story is long, but the lady never came back.
Sorry about that. You married? Are you married?
Yeah, I
Oh,
finally married.
We thank God. Wow. what
So I
an
know the
introduction.
danger that bed bugs.
Oh, they can cost a wife.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's quite interesting. That's quite an interesting start. So this thing grew up in you through those situations. It just got the urge to bring a solution.
Yeah. After that, these people are telling me, you are the medical student. As we don't know. We don't know what we can do. We have tried all we can, and we can't do anything far. So then I said, if I am the only person who can do something further, then I have to do it.
Thank you. So that's like where NEMA East Africa was born.
Exactly.
It is as old as that, even if it wasn't registered back
Exactly.
then. Wow, that's great.
Yes.
Now you're done with your university. You want to be
Yes,
NEMA.
yes.
When did NEMA now got registered now? As a company, when have you, as in, now I'm in this as an entrepreneurship venture, not just to help a family, not just to help the neighborhood in the Maseno University. When was that?
NEMA began in 2014. It also was a genesis of beginning.
Yes.
And in the genesis of beginning, I had worked here in Nairobi. I worked with Nairobi Hospital. And when I was in Nairobi Hospital, somebody came to Nairobi Hospital. After I had left Nairobi Hospital some months, I had worked in Sai Pharmaceuticals. Then I worked in British Pharmaceuticals. Then now I was working with pharma specialties. Then another person went to Nairobi Hospital and described the kind of a person that he needs. And in his description at the Nairobi Hospital, he was told that kind of person that you are describing, we don't have in Nairobi Hospital. He was here sometimes back, but he already left. He didn't know me. But he said, I need someone who has full knowledge and enthusiasm in the medical field. Someone who is intrinsically motivated. And then he continued to describe. And when he was describing the manager of Nairobi Hospital, he said, that person that you are saying, the only person who can fit in that shoes is Ismail Atudo. And so when he called me, I had just been posted to Kisumu. I had left Nairobi. I told him I cannot come for another job. I have just been admitted in another job. I don't want to change. I can't come. He insisted. He said, just come. Even for interview. I said, no. I don't need interview. I'm already in the job. I'm already in my field. And now, before you know, he sent me 10,000 Kenya shillings.
For flight?
And he told me, buy me a tender at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital, then use the rest as your transport to come to Nairobi. It was a holiday. So I came. And that's what I met the former County Assembly Speaker of Isiolo. By then, he was a manager. He had retired as a manager from Nairobi Hospital and began his own company, which is called BioQuest Kenya. So he was looking for me to go and work there. I had not known him. We had not met. During the interview, when I landed, we were at KICC. Told me, take whatever you want, I would be able to pay. So I paid for the interview and also given transport back. But a lot inspired me from that man. A lot inspired. And so from there, from the day I met him, I began saying, one day, I will register my farm.
He inspired you.
He inspired me a lot. Every walk, anywhere he was going, we were always together with him. When I was in Nairobi Hospital, I was called consultant professor. That was my nickname. So when he called me, he kept calling me professor. Any kind of thing that required any attention in BioQuest Kenya, I was called. And whenever we go with him, I thought he was going to speak as the manager. Then he failed to speak. See, after you have spoken, I have nothing to say. So I kept on speaking. He inspired me a lot. Still today, he still inspires me. We still talk with him
a mentor.
a lot. It's my greatest mentor. It's called Robert Hussein Halaki. Then I read a book.
Hussein Halaki. God bless Robert.
Then I read a book written by Robert T. Kiyosaki. Hussein Halaki, when he began BioQuest Kenya, they began 2 people. They were not the best at that time, but his age, during his age, they were the best. So they were diploma guys when they began. Although right now they have gone ahead. And so what inspired me was the diploma guys has now employed a degree guy. Then I read a book of Robert T. Kiyosaki, Why A students Work for C students and the B students for the government. We'll go deep during entrepreneurship.
Wow. Poor dad, rich dad. That's the author. Oh, hey, thank you. That's the history of NIMA East Africa Limited. So what do you do? Now that you are an entomologist, entomologist has something to do with insects.
Yes.
So you are an entomologist. Now you're in pest control. As in, do you only do pest control? Because we have seen fumigation in our vehicles. We see. Are you affected with by pests? And there's so many people who are coming to fumigate. What do you do at NIMA?
I wear many hats. So I would start with the health sector.
Yes.
What I majorly do is what I learned from Hussein. Innovation. I have several meetings with myself trying to what people are not doing.
You are a good researcher.
Yes. What people are not doing, which we can do to become better. Remember, there are so many human beings. Now what makes you different from others is what new thing you will do. There are so many businesses. What makes your business different is the new thing your business does that others are not doing. There are so many television networks. What would make this different is what it does that others are not doing. So one thing I do is sitting down with myself and having meetings with other innovative guys so that I am able to grow. And number 2 are in the fields that have already germinated in my life. Like one of them is the field of pest control. I realized most people who did entomology are in the office, and some are lecturers. And so people who can physically do the job of entomology are very few. And the few maybe have learned it through apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Then I realized there was a need for professionals to go into the field. Why? People did not know how sensitive the field is. Look, for example, a bat. A bat is a flying mammal. Its system is similar to that of a human being. Whatever kills a bat kills a human being, same time, same way.
You mean?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a flying mammal. It's like you. It has veins, has nerves. It's like you. But you see, because people are not aware, they are looking for particular products to eradicate bats. Some people in the process of eradicating bats, they eradicated their sisters, eradicated their parents. And it's without knowing.
Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge. Then I say, I have to invest in this area as a profession so that I can be able to help people because they do not know. Number 2 is the idea of safety. People are buying chemicals here and there and they are spraying alone. 1, they don't have knowledge. 2, they do not know the side effects of these drugs in themselves. 3, they don't have protectives. And that means in the future, we may miss a generation. 1 is because of accumulation of chemicals that are accumulating in their bodies. I saw many people endangered. Then I said, as a professional, I have to invest in this area so that I can protect many who are endangered.
Wow. Thank you so much. You have had, probably you didn't know that what can kill a bat can kill you as a human being. Same time, same way. What a enlightenment, what an insight. Yeah, thank you so much for coming. We are continuing on well. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have a question, this is the place to bring it. Pest control, if there's something that has really given you a headache, and it is a pest, it is those kind of, you have had bats. You know, when we talk of pests, we may not include a bat. We may not even see a bat anywhere, because that one we see it as something that is just some far away from us. We see these small things that we meet on. Exactly, things that we encounter here at home. Like I have said, that when you talk of safety, health, somebody will see a fire extinguisher. Yes. They'll see such a thing. They'll see such things, and an emergency door. They'll not come to that. So when it's a matter of safety and health, we don't look at our families. It doesn't really trouble us. But we are getting to learn a lot from NIMA East Africa Limited. This is Reverend Ismail. You can call him Honorable Ismail. And I know by the end of this show, he'll tell you why he is also an honorable, right? Yeah. Sure. So I want you to help us understand what are the effects of these pests in our families, so that we don't just look at them like you have given us that example of bed bugs. You will realize that there are people who have become used to those pests. They are living their lives normally as if those were just part of their lives.
One of them, bed bugs. Bed bugs has been a cause even for poor performance in school. Bed bugs has been a cause for poor performance at work. Bed bugs has affected even families. I gave my own example. Now look at schools. When you have bed bugs in the house, it means students are not able to sleep. And when they are not able to sleep in their houses, it means they are going to sleep in class. When we have bed bugs in the dorms, they'll be uncomfortable. They are not able to sleep. And when they can't sleep in the dorms, it means they are going to sleep in the class. Then what will be the result of performance? It will be poor performance. And most schools are still performing poorly, and the reason is bed bugs, but they are ashamed of saying. And apart from that, most offices today, you go and you are finding people asleep in the office. It's not that they are lazy. Some of them are senior government officials, but they are sleeping in the office. Reason is, they have bed bugs in their houses, they can't sleep there. Now take cockroach.
Yeah, that's another one.
Cockroach would be a cause of many diseases. Because as cockroach walks in dirty places, its legs carry the dirt. They're able to carry the germs and the bacteria into your food. They're able to carry it into the surfaces. They're able to carry it into the kitchen. And as a result, we have people who have consistent problems in the stomach, and they don't know where the problems came from. Unless you get rid of cockroaches, you will continue having problems with your stomach.
Okay. What are the products, or rather, what are the products that now NIMA is here? There are so many pests. Those are the effects, like, and they're serious ones. Now you've come. What are these products? And you have told us about innovation. So are you the person, again, who has manufactured these products? They control maybe the products in a lab, or it's just something you went and you research, you realize this one can work for this and this one will control this? Yes. What is the range of your products?
Now, this is the problem again that we have in the whole of this country, Kenya. Since we got independence, it is now 60 years. We have countries like Japan. They have gone ahead of us in the field of innovation. We have lagged behind. Up to date, Kenya is still importing a number of drugs. We are not manufacturing.
Even the pest control, such as...
And when we talk about pest control, we are still importing. And the reason is, there is a need for the Kenyan government to sit down with the innovators, fund innovation, so that we can have production within our country. We have brains within us, but there are no facilities. There are no empowerment. We have not measured in this area, especially in the field of medicine. Almost every medical item we are importing. That means we have the brains, but for some of us who don't want to go and work outside and use our brains outside, we want to use them here in Kenya, then we are looking at the future. That could be some of the reasons as to why I would want to venture publicly in the leadership of this country. And some days ahead, I would go for presidency and ensure that what I want in this country of innovation is facilitated.
Future president has spoken. So you're still importing those products, but with the knowledge of a researcher, such an entomologist, will know that this is what will work here, and this is what I need for this kind of pest. And before we continue, let us take a short break, then we'll be back for more. It's Nisi Television. Keep it here.
Hello and welcome to the Culture Press, the only place where you can get fun and informative information about the African culture with me, your host, Kamodo Rehab. Join me every Sunday at 2 p.m. only at Nisi TV to get all the tea, everything about our culture, our history, our languages, our food, and so much more. I cannot wait.
Hello, our lovely viewers. How about starting your Sunday with a different test? Here are the sounds of praise, where we give you every different kind of music. All your celebrities that you'll be looking forward to, where we give you inspirational words, encouragement to lift you for the week. Meet different preachers, different artists all over, high and low, known and unknown, here at the Sound of Praise. It's only found at Nisi Television. Join me, Suki Ruma, every Sunday here at Nisi Television, the House of Rest.
Discover the key to your child's future success with Shamareo School, a leading academic institution offering comprehensive education in a supportive and nurturing environment. Shamareo School is a day and boarding primary school with highly qualified teachers and a cutting-edge curriculum. Our school prepares students for a bright future and equips them with the skills necessary to succeed in the 21st century. Our innovative approach to education fosters creativity, critical thinking, and a lifelong love of learning. From our state-of-the-art facilities to our diverse extracurriculum activities like swimming, football, music, taekwondo, art and craft, our school provides a well-rounded education that goes beyond classroom. Join us for a scheduled tour to see what sets us apart. Invest in your child's future with Shamareo School. Our school is located at Syokimau Katani Market. Email us at info@shamareoschool.com or call us at 0741 248012. For more information, visit our website at shamareoschool.com. Shama Royal School, a place to excel.
Yes, we are back as we had promised. We are continuing with our discussion on health and safety entrepreneurship. And with me is an entomologist and a consultant on the area of pest control. That is Honorable Ismail, or rather Reverend Ismail. He is here with us, and we have heard how he started his company and what inspired him and the journey he has walked to this point. And he has also given us insights on pests and the effects that they can bring to our families and even to our social life and even to our workplaces, even to our education. So pests are nothing that any one of us should be staying with, or rather getting used to. So today, after this show, we must have a solution. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, we must have a solution so that people don't just, there are people who have been, like you spoke of cockroaches. Maybe there's somebody outside there, they have cockroaches in their house, and until they have got used to them. And yes?
Another thing I wanted to add, I've seen great people, engineers, to construct houses. Nevertheless, they forgot the PCOs. The pest control officers.
Yes, we'll come there. That you see, the pests don't choose. They don't choose where who they will affect.
Yes.
So there are people in the family that are getting so affected with this pest until they have to dispose their furniture or something of the sort. There are people outside there. Maybe you're there and you want to buy some furniture. Sometimes people have carried pests. They have carried bed bugs through carrying this furniture. So you should also be careful about some of these things. When you go out to buy second-hand things, be very careful, be very cautious, so that again you don't carry pests into your house, because controlling them is not as easy, I want to believe, but our guests will be expounding on that. Maybe you are there and you are wondering, these insects, these weevils, you are a farmer, and maybe these are things that have affected your crops again, and you're serious. Again, he will be able to help us understand how again do we control this, how do we go about this, so that our harvest and our food can last as long as maybe you intended for it to last. So today, as we talk about matters, health and safety, probably you're there. He has told us that not everybody else who is exercising or rather practicing this maybe pest control is a professional. Maybe whatever is being used is not again as healthy for you, as good for your health. So you may be using something, a chemical, that again you inhale, you are controlling some pest. But at the end of the day, you get your health, you get yourself ill out of the whatever you have inhaled. Maybe you are using this chemical, it was okay, but then you did not use the right protective. Again, that one will affect you. That's why we are here, so that we can all learn, even as we get to understand how maybe you are there and you want to venture into this business. Maybe you are there and you want to, this is an area you would want to study as a young person. He will be able to help us understand that. You can be sure that this is a deep and broad subject. We may not even exhaust everything today, but we will surely get to give you deep insights and maybe even plan for another day. Just send us your questions and your reactions and your comments, and we'll be able to work together. So now we are here. You are telling us there's something. Continue.
I was saying there is a great need that when someone wants to construct a house, apart from looking for an engineer, you also need to look for a pest control officer. Yes. Otherwise, when there are termites, when did the engineer begin to learn about termites and the particular chemicals to get rid of them? Is it in their syllabus? Yeah. The problem is people assume it is also part of the engineering work. This is a medical field. And there was no unit where the engineer was learning about particular chemicals for controlling pests. And you would find a very big house, well built, but inside you are finding termites. And the issue is, how did they come? During the process of beginning, we could have helped the owner of the house. Another thing also, there is a lot of abortion. You have fruits, you have mangoes, but during flowering stage, there is abortion of a number of flowers. And when fruiting comes, there is abortion of fruits. How wish you consulted earlier. You would harvest even 5 times what you are harvesting. People have fruits, isn't it? But do they even know about anti-abortion?
So you were waiting to hear how is abortion affecting again? Okay.
So these are the particular fields that people have ignored for a long time. And it is because of lack of knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
And this is because we have not had entomologists coming out actively in the field to educate the public. That yes, you have mangoes. But now you need to get more from your mangoes. But that will happen when you're able to prevent abortion. From flowering stage to fruiting stage.
Now you see, if you're there, you only know, when I grow up, I would like to be a teacher, I would like to be a doctor, I would like to be an engineer. Now, maybe you need to know, even as you get into the medical field, this area of entomologist, it's like it's basic, it's a needful area. We need more entomology so that again we can learn from our environment. Because if there's, this region has one, this village has another one, you see, that one will help that place, and we need more of these people.
Yeah, another thing maybe to add on, there is what we call resistance, especially for bedbugs. The bedbugs we are controlling today are not the same bedbugs we were controlling in 2017.
Tell us about that.
And now the problem is with the public. The public will say, this is the drug that finished bedbugs in my house in the year 2010. So this is the one I want.
And you give referral even to your friends.
This is why we stopped selling drugs. We initially used to sell drugs. And I remember the first one I introduced to Kisumu was Bedlam.
That's for bedbugs.
For bedbugs. But a time came when it was no longer working. And you know what the people will say? They blame the manufacturers.
Yes, is not a good one.
They think nowadays you are watering it. It is
It's
not
fake.
the initial one.
It's fake.
It is now adulterated.
Ah.
But that's not the truth. The product is the same, but the bedbugs are different.
Okay.
We have seen when Corona came, you go for booster, they tell you now you need another booster because now we have another species. And now the same for bedbugs. Are you aware that the bedbugs in your house could be different from the bedbugs that was in your house 10 years ago? What brings the resistance? One are the chemicals we use. Sometimes you advise someone, take 100 ml in 5 liters. Then another person says, no, I don't have money. I want a smaller one. Then now he takes a smaller one, which is now 50 ml. You are taking a smaller one? It's like a doctor telling you, take 2 times a day. Then you say, I don't have money. I will not take 3 tablets. I will take 1 tablet 2 times a day. Will you get healed? What will happen next? You will create resistance. Next time you will take the same medicine, and then you will not be healed. Another person takes the same medicine, he gets well. So for bed bugs, someone in another house decided to spray it with a lesser concentration. Then it produced a more resistant species, which is now used to that particular drug.
So that one can't control it at all.
Now it can't control it. And that's why now sometimes we'll spray your house today and the bed bugs don't die. Then we tell you may have to come back. And then you say, no, it means the first one you didn't spray well. No, the problem is your species. Your species, you contacted another pest control elsewhere, officer elsewhere. He had less resources, so he decided to overdilute. And what was the result? He made the bed bugs more resistant to the same drug that could have killed.
So that means you need to change the drug.
Yeah, but now you as an individual who does not have knowledge in this area, how would you change the drug?
And to what?
And to which drug? That is why you need to have a pest control officer who knows this is the drug I used last time, and I have to use this.
So this person should be the person to do it.
Yeah.
Not just I buying those maybe powder and going and mixing.
It is true, even in the medical field, we have people who have decided to treat themselves. They don't want to go to the doctor.
Yeah,
They say I can go to the pharmacy and buy drugs.
Yes.
That is the other side also. We have people who don't want the pest control officers because they don't want to pay the pest control officers. So they say, I better go to an agrovet, buy the drug, and do it alone so that I don't pay the pest control officer. It's like saying, I don't want to pay the doctor, so I want to go to the pharmacy, I buy the drug alone.
So you've said your company now is not selling drugs?
Yes.
Because you offer consultancy, you want to understand the problem.
Yes.
You want to bring a wholesome solution.
Yes.
You don't want me to just come and buy what I think or what my friend bought some 3 years ago or what worked in their house. So that you, when I approach, I come to NEMA, you'll give me an officer to help me.
Yes.
Okay. Now that's understandable.
I also borrowed that from BioQuest. BioQuest, when it began, they had a small office. You know the staircase?
Yeah.
So their office was that space of the staircase.
Oh, the one that is on the ground.
Yes,
Is
so the ground. So they could not enter 2 people, and there were 2 directors. So one person enters, the other one remains outside. That was their beginning. So I borrowed that, and I saw that little and humble beginning. And you know what? When BioQuest was employing me, a company that would throw away 10,000 for a person they don't know, they had money. Currently, they supply Nairobi Hospital. All branches, all Aga Khans, all Gertrudes. It's a big brand now.
Yeah, it is.
But look at the start. So they employ only professionals.
Oh, that's all. Okay.
You go to BioQuest, you are a quack, you will not get employment.
They don't want
If
to
they
mess
need
around.
an engineer, they look for an engineer. If they want a lab scientist, they look for a lab scientist who is fully qualified. So NEMA, when we began, we said, now we also want professionals.
That's what we're working with.
Yes.
So an entomologist coming from NEMA is not a person who has learned it through apprenticeship.
These are professionals.
Oh.
We
You
send
know?
someone to your farm that would be an agronomist. He understands the plants. He understands the orchards. And we send somebody to your house, a pest control officer. He understands what he's doing. So that you are safe, he is safe, and the future generation is safe.
Oh, I love that. So how far in Kenya do you go?
We have our offices in Malindi, Mombasa, Nairobi. Of course, Kisumu City is where
It's the headquarters.
our second establishment was put after Nairobi.
Oh, your first one is in Nairobi.
Yes, so all over Kenya. That means even where we have not reached. I normally say all medical cases are emergencies.
you'll get
So
there.
there is no place that an ambulance cannot reach. If someone is sick from wherever, the person can be sorted. So even if someone is in Garissa, we can be able to arrange and ensure that we reach.
Or you don't have to have the office there so that you can serve us from
Yeah,
that place,
we,
yeah.
we offer the service.
Yes.
So that means our experts can travel anywhere.
Okay, that is consultancy. You know, it's very interesting, like I was saying, because in Kenya, pests have been a menace for, I believe, for, if you were talking about that time you went to visit, that time you were in university, and even now, university are still suffering the same. And I think it's that what you have called resistance. Would I be right to say that it's just that they have not approached the right people to do this?
There is also greed for money. And this is what has hindered innovation in this country and in the field of medicine. Because someone says, if I approach the right person, then I'm going to pay more.
Yeah.
And because the person doesn't want to pay more, it's the wrong person.
And I'm there, and I am telling you that I can come and fumigate.
Yeah.
You'll just give me to come and fumigate, and I don't even know much about that fumigation. That's why maybe a solution has not been found, because the people who are coming, they also don't really know what next, apart from just vaccinating and just coming and fumigating.
Yeah, so that's one of them. So there's that lack of knowledge, and then there is also this part of greed. There are those who know, we tell you we are NIMA East Africa, we are experts in this field. Then now, because you don't want to pay, then now you resort to go and buy your own drugs. And I was saying it's like in the field of medicine. Some people say we don't want to go and see the doctor because we don't want to pay consultation fee. So we are going to chemists, and we are going to buy the drugs. So I think Kenyans, if we want to get rid of bed bugs and the various pests, we have to know this in medicine. In medicine, we say little knowledge is more dangerous than no knowledge.
Oh, it is.
See, if you have no knowledge, you will not try.
And I'll look for...
You will say, this one I don't know, I cannot do it.
And probably I'll search for this knowledge.
Yeah, no, just to explain, little knowledge is more dangerous than no knowledge. If you have no knowledge of how to treat a particular disease,
I'll get a person who has it.
yeah, so you will raise your hand and say, no, I can't do it. I don't know. But if you have little knowledge, you
I'll
can
work
try.
that.
In the process of trying, you can
Yes,
kill.
I will. Okay. Chemicals. This inhalation, because we're using chemicals both now and pen, even to control these pests.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a person now who is coming to, who is using this kind of a drug to control something in their house. And most of them, you have, there are those that when maybe you spray or use, you can't stay in that house. You have maybe to leave the doors, the windows open, and maybe leave for some hours, because yourself, you just can't survive there. So what would you advise us? How would you advise us there?
Again, we have to wait for the advice from the professionals. During Corona, people are waiting on what else they are going to be told to do.
Do we remove the mask?
And now, yes, they were waiting for instructions. But today, people don't want to ask. It is true, long time ago, we had to close all the windows, close the doors. During that time, we're using a particular group of drugs called organophosphates. However, there are particular molecules, like when we are using the acetamiprins, they have no smell, they have no color. So why do you have to close the window? They don't work through smell. Why do you have to close the doors? They can be left open. So I think there is innovation. There is a people, so that we don't get to use the old methods that we have to close the doors. No. Yes, your grandmother was closing the door during those days. Now we have particular products. We may not close the door.
And there are those products that are when you inhale them, you feel like they're banning you. So not even closing the door. You feel like you need to open just for aeration because you can't survive in that house.
Why are they banning you? It's because maybe the pest control officer said you need an evacuation of 1 hour. Then you decided to come after 30 minutes.
Actually, there was no pest control officer. Because I'm the one who bought them, I'm the one who's paid for them, who did everything. So I'm the officer, my pest control officer, I'm the person. So I don't even know what to do or what not to do.
Did you have more knowledge on the same?
Maybe sometimes no.
Then you had little knowledge, which is more dangerous than no knowledge. Because now you have endangered your life.
So how available are these entomologists? How available is this pest control officer? Because like I've told you, there are people who have learned it by apprenticeship. There are people who have just learned it because I used this pest control drug and it worked for me. So the next day, I'll come and sell it to you. I'll just decide, me as from where I come from, business is business. We say that mbesha ni besha. So because I've seen it has worked for me, and I know there are people with that problems, I'll just go and buy mini. And I come and sell it to you. You know, so the next time you must consult me. But you see, I'm not even.
Now you made the consultant.
Yeah. So how do I know who exactly to consult from?
Now this is how it starts. Initially, we had no bulbs. It began with one person. And the biggest question was, how available are these bulbs?
Yes.
But today they are available.
Yeah, very.
Right now, as we are talking about entomologists and the pest control officers, because I am available here at NISI TV,
yes,
all our listeners, they are seeing. They are enough to spread the information to others. Because we have also many. But who has dared about them? Yeah. A good example here. Have you interviewed business people here before?
On the area?
No.
Yes, yes.
Have you interviewed preachers here before?
Yes, who are doing maybe something business.
But now you see, for entomologists, it's the first time you bring an entomologist.
Exactly.
And other stations, they have never at all.
Yeah.
So you're very much ahead of many. So for these people who have never aired even entomologists, it means they are making them to be unknown.
Okay.
So that they can promote their quacks.
It's again, we come back to knowledge. Knowing that these people are there, knowing where they are, knowing Nima East Africa is there.
Because entomology has been offered. Actually, in a number of universities in Kenya. I learned it in Maseno. My lecturer was Dr. Doka. For him to become a doctor, he had learned entomology. But I'm wondering, why is he not known? It's because either we ourselves decided to sit in class and not do the practical job. So people only know those who came to their houses and did the practical job. They don't know those who sat in the offices and sent them. So this is why, as NEMA East Africa, we are sending our professionals to go to banks and do fumigations themselves. We are sending them to go to hospitals. We are sending them to go to houses and do the physical work of fumigation so that the clients can know them. We have entomologists in Kenya, but clients don't know them because they keep on sending people. Yes. Yes. I say I wear many hats. And the first one was my greatest STEM began in the field of entomology. And that I began it before any registration and before anything else. Just as an individual, I had that urge. And I was consulting, like for Maseno, I consulted Dr. Doka so that we would do the one in Maseno better. But apart from the pest control, I also do medical supplies. When I was employed by BioQuest Kenya, what I was doing was medical supplies, supplying the things that are required in the lab. And this is also because those who are in the lab, they have no time to go to the market and find out what new thing has emerged. Because you wake up and you arrive in the hospital and patients are there. And when you finish, you are in your house. So there's no time. So I was in the field of educating the particular doctors on the current medical ventures. And so that is what I did with the various farms I had. And for BioQuest Kenya, I was moving out like, there is what we call Seracheck Gold. It was also unique. Maybe if you don't know Seracheck Gold, there are so many glucometers or blood sugar machines. But now, this became unique that it has a handle or a holder, a place that you hold. And in all my profession, this is the only one I have seen with a handle.
That's from BioQuest.
Yeah, so I'm trying to say about entrepreneurship, you do something new. Because blood sugar machines were existing, all of them.
Yeah.
Then another person says, if it is existing, if I hold it with my finger, then my temperature should be able to affect the results.
Yeah.
Then another person says, let's come up with a holder so that we don't use our finger. And now there is a holder.
Something different.
So when there is a holder, it means the results are now better. So I do medical supplies, still in those various fields. And I do marketing.
You also do marketing.
Marketing, I do a lot. Even if you have the best products, if it is not marketed, and the worst ones are marketed, people will buy it.
True.
And that's why even in politics, if you are a good politician and you don't market yourself, they will vote a bad one who has marketed himself.
Yeah. Because that is the one that we know.
Yes.
And that's why we have brought to you NIMA East Africa Limited, so that from here, now you can get from the best. You can get your medical supplies from the best. You can get your space control consultants from the best. You can get them from NIMA East Africa Limited. I don't want you again to stay in the dark and when we have knowledge outside here. We need to know how to engage them, and we need to have them help us, because cheap is expensive, like he has explained to us, that you may be buying those drugs, those sachets, and at the end of the day, you don't have a solution. Just engage one professional, a pest control officer, and you'll be sorted. So as we get to winding up, I would want you to maybe help us understand as now we end it. Now you're in entrepreneurship. You are in it for, it's a business. Where are you located? You have told us in Nairobi, Mombasa, Malindi, Kisumu, all that. But you have told us you can go anywhere. Wherever you need them, they can come. How do we get to you? How do you find you?
A call is greater than a profession. I was first called by God to serve humanity. And I have been serving. I did my first Bible college when I was in primary. I began in class 8.
Wow.
I was doing a course, then I posted through poster to reach Lamp and Light of the World in Lanet. I finished it when I was in Form 2. That's when I finished a course on the New Testament. It means I have been doing the work of God. And I was telling you, sometimes I lived without a house. But what helped me? I ended up living with a person I preached to and got born again when we were in class 8.
Okay, he hosted you.
Yeah, it's not that you have said the time is an issue here, but another day I will give a history and I will be able to tell you that my life has been full of the assignments of God. So all the places where the church is the best place to find me.
Okay.
You'll find me preaching.
How do you balance the two? For you closet? Being a
Oh.
reverend, being an entomologist, being now the boss here in your company, in church.
That was the struggle when I was in primary. In primary, I was the CU chairperson, I was the debate chairperson, I was the head boy, I was in charge of health talk.
You are the best performer.
So I was amongst the top also. So I had several things. And the question was, I was also a Sunday school teacher. How do you balance? When I landed in secondary school, I was in Kisumu Day. The biggest question was still that. Because I became the club's coordinator. And for the club's coordinator, we had 19 clubs. I was in charge of them all. Every club was to travel at least twice in a term. I had to go with all of them to have a report. So that means I had about 38 trips in a term. So the issue is, how was I balancing? I was still a leader, outreach coordinator in the Christian Union, I have an office. How was I balancing? When I came to Maseno University, for those who are listening and for those who know me in Maseno, people again were asking, how do I balance? Because I was in Sunday school ministry, I was in high school ministry, I was in instrumentalist ministry, I was in charge of I was the Bible coordinator. And so the big issue is, how do you balance?
And you
I was also a
campaigned.
student.
Student leader again, you campaigned.
I was also a student leader. So it has followed me again outside here.
So this one is easy.
So this one to me is easier because what I went
You have
through.
been
and-
trained.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it balances itself because it's God who gives and He helps me to penetrate. It's like a river flowing, it does not struggle. But
Okay.
you may ask the river, how do you flow here?
So the church is doing well.
Yes.
Your business is doing well.
Yes, 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 yes.
Ah, that's great.
Actually, the business has ensured that in most of our churches, we do not have people who do not have jobs. If you
Okay.
come, you don't have a job, I would give you a job. If my company does not have a job, I'm connected to entrepreneurs, different entrepreneurs. So there are places I can send you.
Okay.
Yes.
Some days ago, some weeks ago, you had a summit, business summit. You organize such things. Do you have one?
And she will be able to tell you how Mercy Light Hospital began. Now it's one of the biggest hospitals there. They even have a branch in Ruiru. And how I began. There are people who began their businesses with 1,000, others 20,000, others 10,000. And others began with samples, like,
0 shillings. Samples.
yes, I didn't have anything. But then I was able to speak up for myself and say, I want to go and control bed bugs in Nyanza. And I don't know, I need drugs that I can try out to see if they're working. Then I was given. Then I went and tried. With the knowledge I have, it worked. Next time I was able to buy. Then the company grew. And now it is all over Kenya. So for entrepreneurship, on the 5th of May, Tano, you will meet doctors who have begun hospitals. You will meet business people. You will meet publishers. Like we have Capvim. It's my other firm. I didn't come with my book, but I've written a book on the golden leadership, talking about scarce qualities of leadership. The book is suitable for training prefects in schools, training staffs, and also for capacity building.
I want to believe we'll have another chance so that we can get this entomologist of ours. Now he's a publisher. We'll get into that. We are going to get another opportunity for that.
So the workshop is on 5th, and we have brought different entrepreneurs together. And this time we focused on Christians. Why Christians? We have preached faith for a long time.
Yeah, sure.
Now we want to bring practicality of faith. Do you have faith that you can begin a business? Do you have faith that your business can be national, can be international? Come and listen to people who began by faith. So they will be able to tell you I had nothing, I prayed. Then the Lord told me, go, and I went. And you'll get people like me. I advertised it in Kisumu before I got the drugs and the money. And the people I used, also, as we continue to talk, we realize the other things I'm also doing. I told you I came from the street. So in Kisumu, I was also doing a job with rehabilitating street children. Because I know what they are feeling. I know for some, it is not their mistake. Some are altars. So we need to pray for them removed so that after that they can come back to their homes. So during that time, I made use of the street children that I have been able to minister to. And I told them, I want us to put posters. Then we'll have drugs. Then I will go to Nairobi, we'll bring drugs. The people we had empowered, those that were over 18, stripping the street, they have no jobs. After that, I went with them to Kisumu. And I told them, the posters you put, now we have the drug. Some of them have grown. So for the Christians who have faith, we will preach to them faith, then we'll expose them to practicality of faith in entrepreneurship.
Don't miss it. It's 5th of May. Where?
It will be at our church in Kiambu. And we have invited a number of churches, inviting everyone in the public. There is a fee. So you invite people. Let them know. There is 3,000 shillings. This is for all the entrepreneurs.
Okay. Per company.
Only the entrepreneurs, per person. But for the public, it is free. But they will be able to access the compound.
Okay.
But where the entrepreneurs will be, it will be inside the church building. Where there will be capacity building. There will also be empowerment. Because sometimes what you are selling is what I can buy in bulk. But because you don't know me, you keep selling in small bits. So when entrepreneurs meet together, you can be what you will be selling is what I can buy in bulk. Or what I am selling, you can buy in bulk.
The opportunity for network, that will be great. You don't have a reason to miss it. Only at 3,000 for you as an entrepreneur, and it's free for you as a public car. You said for the rest of the public it will be free.
Yes.
Only that now the entrepreneurs will be in that enclosed place where empowerment is being done, and probably you meet your customer there.
And there will be certificates.
Yes.
There will be meals for the entrepreneurs. Those will be inside. So that is what the 3,000 shillings will do. It will cater for their meals, cater for their certificates, and for those who want to sponsor the event in any way, we'll have them here. We only have this month. After this month, we'll be publishing a list of all sponsors. As you can see here, we have a number of sponsors. Not all of them has been listed. It is not only Marcelite. Next time, we'll be having also Nisi TV here. We have Captain Publishers and many more.
Yes, you can also sponsor this event, and of course, it's for a good cause. And you have said, you have heard that they have said that this time around they are concentrating on Christians, so that Christians, we are not just going to church and we can't even tithe because we don't have money. We want to be Christians who are empowered, both pocket-wise and even heart-wise. And thank you so much for coming. That marks the end of our show. Maybe you can just say to someone, sorry, I wasn't able to read all our comments, but I say thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being with us through the show. And you're welcome. Don't miss it next week. It will be even hotter. And after this, we have other life transforming shows here at Nisi Television. So don't tune elsewhere. Yes, as we close it.
Next time, you have to invite me to talk about leadership.
Yes.
We do a lot of leadership empowerment. We go to churches and you realize only pastor went for theology, and we have the usher here. We have the leader here who did not go for theology. They are struggling with the leadership. And so we are doing training for all the leaders within church fraternity so that we ensure that our churches do not fall for poor leadership. And I think next time, and I told you my book is one of the manuals that we use, the Golden Leadership. We'll talk about that. Thank you all our viewers and those who are together with us. I am available. NIMA East Africa is available for you. I am a pest control officer. My number is 07.
Yes, continue.
15 360 479. 0715 360 479. Airtel number is 0733 360 479. 0733 360 479. Reverend Ismail Atudo, happy to have been with you here. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord do you good. I believe the future is safe with us, but only if we become innovative. Let's become innovative.
Let's become innovative. All of us are on social media. Are you with us there? Kenyans are on social media. Nisi Television social media. Is Nima there?
Yes.
Where?
Just Google Nima East Africa. It is there.
Okay,
Whether
Nima East
it is
Africa.
Twitter, whether it is Facebook, Nima East Africa.
Nima East Africa.
As an individual also, Ismail Atudo, you'll find me everywhere. Just say Ismail Atudo, you'll find me there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Atudo. And now I invite you to give us the closing prayer.
Yes.
Yes, as we end it.
Thank you so much, and let's pray. Almighty and ever-loving Father, thank you for this opportunity that you've given us, not only to talk, but to build the capacity of one another. Thank you for every viewer, every listener, from every part of the world. I pray, Jehovah Father, that there may be an impartation in their lives. There may be an impartation in their families, in their businesses. May today form a source of connection that will bring together great innovators. Thank you, Jehovah Father, even for Hussein Halake of BioQuest Kenya, who inspired me a lot to be an inspiration and a source of motivation to many in this country and in the world. Thank you for Nisi TV, for giving it the privilege and the grace to connect to many, to empower many, and to make them better and suitable for serving this country and beyond. Thank you for every listener who has faith and has known that by faith all things are possible. Thank you for the assurance that this kind of unity will attract blessings and praise. I cover every family represented today in this show with the blood of Jesus Christ, which was shed in Calvary. And I pray that may the power of that blood speak to defend our lives together. Thank you for Kiambu prayer movement, Kiambu Pastors prayer movement that also connected me to this show. I pray that you continue to empower them, to bless them, beginning with the chairman Mureidi and the prayer coordinator Gishuki and the rest of the leadership, including Reverend Kimaru. May your grace be upon them. May your light continually shine upon them. And Lord, I pray for every staff in this place. May you empower them divinely and cause them to shine in their time and in their generation. For this we pray, trusting and believing in Jesus' holy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
Yeah, we look forward to having you some other time here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for being with us, our dear viewer. Keep it Nisi Television. This is the business o'clock, and here we say, do it as unto the Lord.
Amen.
As you're serving those customers, just serve them as if it's Jesus who is serving them, or as if you're serving Jesus. Do it as unto the Lord and not as to human being. I've been your host, Edith Kamande. Yeah, and I'm glad that you are with us. Have a good day.